Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to episode 3 of Bot Facts, Purpose over Position. I'm Asima Tamkeen, the curious student. So as we grow up and grow big, we are often asked the same question. What purpose do you have in life? What do you want to do? What career you do? And what titles you're going to have one day? But as I grow up, the more conversations I have with people, the more I unfold questions, I get to know that that is not an important question. The real question is what impact we leave behind. Because after a certain point of time, our positions may change, our titles may fade, but what actually leaves behind is the impact that we create. And our guest for today reflects exactly the same journey. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. KC Singh. Mr. KC Singh has done public service for around 23 years, but then later has give up on it and dedicated his life to Love India Regional, where he does nation building, knowledge for the students, and many other stuff. He's also done he's also a writer and author, and also has written a book named Bharata Ratna, and he holds an amazing personality. So let's begin with the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes. So, sir, when we talk about KC Singh, we get to know that you have served in public service, you have put a great impact and the Love India Regional, everything. But let's go to the beginning, the start, when KC Singh was no one to us. From where did you begin and what were the experiences that shaped how you are today?
Yeah. To start with, this is a routine growth where we learn things by experience. But the professional ideas that we gain to get only by time. But during my school days, I had a very rough idea of building an impact over the youth, inspiring them, bringing some new concepts, some a movement, an idea, to build up in them that energy that can be well utilized by them for the development of society or to the nation. My father was an army officer. He has put a service of 29 years in Karnataka alone and another 10 years elsewhere in India. So it is all that things that I imbibed, his knowledge, his ideas, I imbibed while I grew. Finally, I thought I should contribute something to society. So the best means is to inspire and build up an influence over the youth. Because it is a force, the backbone of a nation.
Yes. So you got inspired by your father. So you've spent many years in public service. So around 23 years you've given your life to public service. What is that experiences that you hold that even shapes you today?
Yeah, in fact, that terminology as public service I think is not appropriate. It should be government service. I was into government service as a soldier of the government missionary.
Okay.
I had to work within the scope of the government policies, guidelines,
Okay.
and the conduct rules. So here you may not be doing as much as you want to, because a person who wants to produce something to in the society, produce something for the youngsters, build up the influence on youth, try to inspire one after the other. He in fact will be tied up in a particular zone. You might have heard about Annamalai, who was a DCP Bangalore South.
No, sir.
He left his service for the social service, for his political upgrowth. So every person in his lifetime will try to choose a profession of his passion. It is all that passion makes. Sometimes you get a chance, but even to flow with the chance, you require some passion at heart.
Yes. So that is exactly something that struck me when I was preparing for the conversation, sir.
Yeah.
So everyone goes like, what can I achieve in life? But you had a different perspective, a very patriotistic passion you hold, that what can I contribute? What I want to know more about that. What is the reason for that change from what can I achieve to what can I contribute?
In fact, we have read stories of great personalities where they said life is what we make it, or life is a challenge that we need to overcome. Something like that. Life is a journey, one has to perform it. So nowhere it said life will go on even you do nothing.
Yes.
So life and career are interbound. They are the two phases of a same coin. So exactly, what was your question?
How did your perspective go from what can I achieve to what
Yeah,
can
yeah,
I contribute?
yeah. Yeah, as I told you earlier, during my school days and college days, I had a very staunch idea of trying to inspire the youth and to make them realize their real potential, so that they grow up and work for values over valuables. So these values are more important. The values may be for a society, values may be for a family, the values may be for a community or for the national development. So the values should come first over valuables. So that was my idea. So since my father was into service, into defense forces, so I had a very strong inclination to move towards the uh, defense forces, work in defense forces, or to work for the national development. I alone cannot do much more. So I need to associate with my people, with my friends, with my fellow colleagues. So something like that. So it was there. Should be, I was about 24 years old. I started this Love India as an idea. An idea will take shape of a movement. When you have a very sharp idea, an idea that is accepted by the general public,
Yes.
accepted by your family, accepted by a political community, or accepted by a normal society, then it becomes a movement. You should be knowing, George Orwell famously said, every joke is a tiny revolution. I will give you one more example.
Okay.
The Chief Justice of India, Surya Kant, made a sweeping remark. Youngsters, youth are more like cockroaches.
Yes.
Though he made it in a particular context, he was dealing with a case where youngsters were coming with fake degrees. So, disgusted by such an act of the youth, he said they are like cockroaches and parasites. But that small remark became a big movement.
Yes.
Abhijit Deepke was sitting in Boston, who was once upon a time a social media worker for a particular political party in Delhi, used that small idea of cockroach to make it a big revolution. And as you all know that it is Cockroach Janata
Oh,
Party.
yes.
So everything you should take it seriously when you have to move ahead. So I thought I should do something different and serve the society with the potential of the youth, inspiring and influencing, building an impact in society and for the nation. So I started my Heart Beats for the Nation campaign in 1993. Though I did not receive good cooperation, no one to understand us, because there was no social media, there were no TV channels, there was nothing. During 93 I started this.
Yes.
So no colleges, no universities gave me a red carpet welcome. It was very hard for me to talk to students. So at which time I had to take painstaking process. I used to wait for students at the bus stop, meet 2 students a day at each college. Like that I was covering 5 colleges a day without work after my graduation. So this is how this entire thing started. Every day was an experience for me. When I talk to a student, a youth, so he gives me some more ideas. Out of 100 to 1000 people, I could only hardly get 3 persons who could join me in the movement of my heart beats for the nation. I started then Love India Parivar. I took this movement to the Chief Minister, the then Chief Minister. I have received certificates. They all have appreciated my move, but the support and recognition was limited. In social work, first it is the work, first it is your selfless service, then comes recognition.
Yes. So, sir, you just mentioned that you went through a lot of difficulties in this journey. Throughout these difficulties, you had a lot of self-doubt and everything. How did you stay motivated throughout it?
It is self-motivation. It is self-motivation. Though you have doubts, doubts are the direct channel into our brains, into our brain cells. Mind is not in the body. Brain works. Mind is a sensory organ that works outside the body. You can call it an organ, but you don't see it. It is invisible, like air.
Yes.
Air is also a material medium, but you cannot see that. Like that, mind. So, lot many things your mind will give you the sense of what you do next and what you do yourself. When you sit alone, your mind works and gives you lot many solutions. But what is required more is one brave decision to do something different.
Yes.
It is not one taking more time to achieve something, it is one different approach that matters. Small thing, big difference.
So that is very inspiring story, sir. People often have very strong opinions about government and institutions and how society performs, and they often end up criticizing it, not understanding it fully. What is your opinions on that?
Yes, that is a common phenomenon. It's a common phenomenon, but I appreciate the youth of these days who have understood democracy and its challenges. They have understood society, they have understood the Indian Republic, they have understood the democracy in full. That is the reason they criticize the government for the bad steps, wrong steps they take.
Yes.
It is democracy during our early days was only of the people, by the people, for the people. It was only a definition, a rhyming theme. This is all we knew those days.
Yes.
What is democracy? Democracy means of the people, by the people, for the people. This is what we were taught in schools. Today, they have started realizing, the youth of these days have realized what is democracy and what is their power. Youth, many have defined youth. Youth is the age of discovery and dreams. Youth is the force behind a nation. Youth is the backbone of a nation. Youth are the torchbearers of the nation. Many things on paper, on record. Every time you should remember the advice that you give as a prime minister or a chief minister or a president, most of them don't follow.
Yes.
Even for in the matter of parents, when they advise, children don't follow. It is when they practice, people follow. When you practice, they only look at parents. If parents have their very beautiful, hygienic consideration at home, they wake up early, go for a walk, eat at proper intervals, go to bed early, children follow the same. It is only the practice that student. Today, the youth are the same. Youth have taken a different approach. They have studied the society. They are going through reels. The social media is impacting a lot. And it is not the entertainment alone in the reels. There are too many good things that you see in YouTube channels. Social media is wonderfully producing beautiful brains for the nation. It is here I could know that the students, the youth, the society has realized the real potential. It is only then. You should be knowing. The psychology says, when you are very close to a person, when you are very close to a closely associated a person, you can hear his voice when you read the text. When you read a person's text, you will also hear his voice. That is what psychology says. So likewise, here now the youth is able to hear the voice of the government. when it reads newspaper columns or something like that. It is here it makes a difference. That is why I told you earlier that it is not the time, 60 years I ruled, this party ruled. It is not that. What different approach you have put is the question. That is the question. Japan, when America bombed in 1945, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the America, US said now Japan will never get back. It is very hard to bounce back. But Japan is bounced back in 15 years. It is the political will. Government has to do lot many things. But how it will do lot many things? It has to get a political will and take a brave decision. Until and unless you don't give a different approach, no one can produce anything in a society or for a nation.
So you've mentioned that government needs to do lot many things, but yet it hasn't done so much. So when we talk about India, I think it has great potential, but yet now where we are, there is a lot of gap. What opinion do you have on that? How do we reach that gap?
Yes. First, it is your opinion. Even I have an opinion.
Yes.
Opinions are not facts. Opinion are not facts. Government has to do the work that the people believe them to do so. It is the pulse of the people that the government has to look at. There are lot many areas where the government will produce bigger things, and there are lot many things still it has to do little more. Comparably, in government, what you do, when you choose a government, it is you have chosen a government. It is I have chosen a government. We have elected, collectively we have elected a government. Now it is our duty to criticize when they do wrong, to appreciate when they do the good. But how do you know that you have to vote in this person and vote out the government, previous government? In the running government you have to vote out, or you have to bring in a new elected party, political party as a government. How do you do that? You will have to compare. It is here that comparison takes place. It is for the good of the all you need to compare. That government did not do well, so I am going to elect this government this time. This is the collective mindset a person needs to have. So, government, how you define the government, how governments come in picture, how governments rule the nation. It is again we are electing. Until and unless I don't appreciate and the other person also don't appreciate, the government cannot come in power. So, the government, electing a government is by comparison. When you have three parties, you A, B, C, you will say A is not good, I am going to vote B. Otherwise you say A and B are considerably not good, I will vote C. So this is how, it is a collective leadership. You can criticize and slowly, why we criticize? I criticize for you to understand, you criticize for the other person to understand. And when more of them criticize, the government will fall. Automatically fall, because everyone has the same opinion. But one person has an opinion, but the other is not. So opinions are not facts. We need to go by figures, statistics, and also by comparison.
Yes. So that is very insightful conversation, sir. So let's talk about Love India. So you started Love India for a reason, for nation building and for knowledge for the youth. But what is that something that you saw which was missing in our youth today that you wanted to fulfill?
Yes, I was looking at doing a new theme of, putting a new theme of efforts, building a new concept in them. It is only by knowledge sharing you can build a nation. This is the concept. The concept is simple, knowledge sharing, nation building. We brought an equation. We settled for an equation. Knowledge sharing, nation building. You need not go to the borders to defend your country. You have your own people here, whom you can build up an impact for the society through them or influence the other. So I thought we require an organization that is well committed to the service of the nation by virtue of knowledge sharing and nation building. So this is how I started in '93. Even today, Today, that is after 93 I started, today is 26, maybe 33 years gone. When we brought it as a trust, we made a trust as Love India Regional Institute in 1999. And we are on the same track, trying to build impact. We put in honest efforts. We are trying to change one among 10,000 at least in a given area, in a given jurisdiction. We want more number of people to have a movement like Love India, where we can learn, discuss through group discussions or through seminars in colleges, workshops in universities, to understand the difference between nationalism, patriotism, the difference between a nation and a country. We should know everything. Universal adult franchise, adult suffrage, what are the fundamental duties, what are the fundamental rights, what are the directive principles of state policy. Until unless we don't understand what are our fundamental rights, until we don't understand the government's bound duty to follow the directive principles of state policy as explained in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution, the government will not change. And as we don't understand fundamental rights, we will also not change. To bring a change, the person need to be given the right knowledge, which is not, sadly and unfortunately, it is not happening in schools and colleges.
Yes.
I have visited around 300 colleges and universities till date. I have not seen students understanding the basic concept, the funda of the Constitution. Most of them do not know what is preamble. They know there is a preamble, but what is the preamble and who has drafted it, they are not aware. Constitution, they know who drafted it. If I ask them, who handed out the Indian Constitution? If I ask them, who is the advisor of the Constituent Assembly? If I ask them whether our Constitution is constitutional supremacy or parliamentary supremacy, they are unable to answer. Until and unless a student doesn't learn or have that flair, that passion to learn more new things, he cannot be an asset to the nation. Everyone, Constitution is such a book, it is not made for advocates and judges. Every common man needs to understand.
Yes.
Before a common man is understood, it is the students who are in schoolings, who are doing their schoolings in college education, they should learn the basics. That is where we come in picture, Love India comes in picture. And I want more number of such institutions, such groups to work at school and college level, give them the right education, give them the right source of inspiration. This is all required for the day.
As I remember, even me as a student, I've just studied like 2-3 pages of Constitution in our history civics book. So what initiative is Love India Regional taking to reach out to all the students and make them aware of our rights?
Yes, we are just doing that at schools and colleges who give us an invitation or who accept our proposal. We are going on invitations or we write to the school and college educational institutions with a written proposal. If they acknowledge, if they consider calling us to conduct such a educational seminar at their college institutions, we are readily going there. But we require a platform. We require only a platform. It is for the institutions to lend a helping hand for the students, and we are there to build bridges.
So you mentioned that you are trying to make a change. Now suppose Love India Regional reached its success. What our coming generation will look like?
We'll understand the basic concept of knowledge. They will understand that knowledge is first. It is only when you believe knowledge is first, then you will believe nation first. Without knowledge, you will not be able to survive peacefully, nor you will help when you will, live or let
Live
live.
and let live.
Live and let live. So that until unless you don't have that particular theme of knowledge, you will never allow others to live peacefully, nor you live peacefully. It is something like that.
Okay.
ಅದು ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? ಲೆಟ್ ಲಿವ್, ಲಿವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಲಿವ್.
Live and let live.
ಲಿವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಲಿವ್ ರಾಬರ್ಟ್ ಫುರೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವಿಲಿಯಂ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ವರ್ತ್. ಮೇಬಿ ವಿಲಿಯಂ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ವರ್ತ್ someone has written that. ಲೈವ್ ಕವರೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಪಶುಮಾಯಿ? ಲೈವ್ ಕವರೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ವಲ್ಲ?
ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ.
So today's youth, many of our youth, we are frustrated when we see the government and how corruption is happening and every stuff like that. So how is Love India Regional changing their perception about it?
Yes.
Changing their perception not only to see the negative side but also to see the positive side and move towards it.
Yes. Corruption is as old as the world and as new as this moment. It is like beauty. Beauty is momentary. It fades with time. Corruption is something like that. It can fade with time. The question is, who is able to understand what is corruption? Corruption is initiated by two parties. Corruption is an event arranged by two parties. One person gives, the other person takes.
Yes. They should.
So that is the reason why Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji said, as a student, as a child, first 3 persons can bring a change in the society. 3 persons can build
Relation.
a good society. They can build a good society free from corruption, free from hatred, free from outrage. Who are these 3 persons? He said, it is father, mother and a teacher. Now you tell me, when I said corruption is as old as the world and as new as this moment, it is, and still it continues. Why is it continuing? Because the father is not able to accept the fact that he can be a pillar against corruption. Mother also should take the responsibility and say she is against corruption. And the teacher. Unless we are not properly bound civil society and a properly disciplined educational institution, this corruption will outflow. Corruption starts with the mind. It is all the mindset that matters. It is the
Yes.
mindset that matters. Success has to touch your feet, but we are trying to touch the feet of the success. This is the equation that is going wrong. We are running behind success. We have to chase our dreams. We should not chase success. When you chase success, corruption starts. It is strong silk yarn. It is just like the strong silk yarn. They are precious and they pull you. They pull you. That is how it happens. They pull you to the cocoons. So, corruption is something that we all need to fight with. Because we are criticizing the government. I remember with the Congress government and Rajiv Gandhi was criticized for corruption in Bofors. I understand that there was a corruption in VP Singh's government. I understand P.V. Narasimha Rao's time there was another big corruption. So it has happened time and again. Now you see there may be one more corruption or 2 more corruptions again. So it is all that initiated by a society, by an individual. That is the reason why we require good leaders. A leader will not wear the crown. He will understand that wearing crown is not the work of a leader. Leader is a responsible person who will inspire the youngsters, the next generations, the coming generations.
So sir, you mentioned that we should not chase success but should chase dreams. In order for that, if we don't chase success, the youth, and if we are not successful at a certain period of time, then we are considered failure. In order to escape this loop, we chase success. How do you think that the youth should unfollow this?
No risk, no story. No expectations, no disappointment. It is the years of earnest efforts and hard work a person succeeds. But how can you chase success without hard work, without sincere efforts? You have to take risk. Always risk, risk and risk. Failures are only the way. It shows the way. It will mature you. It will build you the elements for success. Success doesn't come to person. It will not come in a sweet manner. It will never come.
Yes.
Success is very hard. Success is very hard thing. You have to break that shell. How to break the shell? You have to work. Putting a honest work. It is putting one's honest work. Success is not a dream, but you can dream for success. While dreaming, you have to put in that efforts and the discipline that it warrants.
Yes, that is very insightful, sir. As so you're talking about the youth. Everyone has a different opinion, everyone has a different voice. But when coming to the society, when we try to speak and when we try to say anything, we don't create an influence. Okay, it's one person might have a very good opinion, but still they're not able to create an influence. How do they bridge that gap?
It is not a gap, it is the failure of one's ability. It is a person failing without an ability and a vision. That is the reason the leader comes into picture. A leader is the one who will not create followers, who is not looking for followers. He will try to create leaders. He wants more leaders like him. So it is a leader is an individual, leadership is a process. A leader, as I repeatedly said, he sits on the seat of responsibility.
Yes.
He is not an emperor. A leader will always try to lead.
So you
No matter.
lived in different areas of India and you've seen the society evolve over a period of time. What is something that you were convinced in your teens, but as you grew up, your thought about that completely changed?
Yes, it is but natural for any person to build up new perceptive skills and also to gain knowledge of society. While you are in a society, you build up your contacts, build up your establishment, association with them, and every time you find a new problem or a new thing to learn, something like that. It's really a life of curiosity. Working in different areas, living in different zones will be definitely beneficial for the upgrowth of a child or more for a youth.
Okay. So,
In fact, I should tell. In furtherance, when what I noticed was student life is a life which gives you the first-hand information. In fact, the student life, particularly during the high school, we tried to build up new dreams, new ideas. As you know, the youth is the age of discovery and dreams.
yes.
We learn to know many things. We opine on a thing and we approve a person. It is not approval or dismissal. It is that strength and the agility of the person who can mature to produce the leadership. If we follow only to a person who has that adequate knowledge to outbreak that silence, outbreak the wrong things, something like that.
Yes, sir. So can you tell us more about Love India, the current plans, and what are your future plans?
Yeah. Love India is an organization. It is determined and committed for knowledge sharing among the youth fraternity. We are trying to build an equation, knowledge sharing, nation building. And we continue with our earnest efforts to train a student to inculcate the sense of patriotism, the sense of nationalism, and more so about constitution. And this is one particular part of India. The second part is social welfare activities, and the third is we are into environmental projects. Fourth is we are into sports and cultural fronts. We are doing our best to bring a difference among students. We are trying to host some tournaments for the disabled, what you call differently abled,
Yes.
for the differently abled youth. We are trying to bring a difference. As Indians, we need to join hands, we need to make a collective effort to outreach all those who feel they are cheerless, who are faceless. We are trying to meet all the sections of society and ensure that they hold a place and partake the interests of a nation.
Thank you. So that is a very insightful thing which you just said. So as you spoke that Love India also includes art and culture.
Yeah.
But as we talk about India today, we are a diverse country and we have many cultures. But we are moving towards the Western tradition. How is Love India trying to gap it?
Yes, when you, this is a very interesting part of this debate, interesting part of this interview program. It is westernization or modernization, or is it modernization or westernization? That today's youth have brought a difference. It is by knowledge or without knowledge. If you have, they feel that the outfit, their new outfits, their new cut outfits is a modern, it leading to modern society, is modernization for the nation. The other few say that building new universities, building new technological museums, that becomes more modernized. And here the confusion for the youth is sporting the t-shirts, sporting the vehicles, sporting our outfits, everything. We want to become more modern. It is not modernization. The outfits are only Western, it is only taking us to Western culture. But our thoughts, our knowledge, there is no Eastern, Western, Southern and the Gulf when it comes to knowledge. A human being always learns from his past experiences. He realizes and he looks at his past and plans for his future. And in between, he thinks, plans, executes with knowledge. So this is the reality. We come from the past, plan for the future, and but remain in the present. So this is an equation. We have to build up as a chain. And English, when you say, when you speak good English, when you speak correct English, when you write beautiful lengthy letters, very attractive write-ups, highly qualified. So he is very modern, she is very modern. No, language, English is a language. It is not a science or you call it a subject. So many things, small things make big difference. Most of the things, only in India, since we are all culturally, spiritually, traditionally on high moral, since we have passed through ages, India is a spiritual, civilizational legacy.
Yes.
Thousands of years we have travelled together. So human civilization happened in India much before any other today's Western society. So we can teach the world more than what we learn from them.
Yes.
And it is all again knowledge. Who brings knowledge, we accept knowledge. We are knowledge seekers. Indians are knowledge seekers. So the Bharata tribe, India is called Bharat. Where is it written? It is well mentioned in Article 1 of the Indian Constitution. India, that is Bharat, shall be the name of the Union of States. And why Bharat? Why Bharat? Why our forefathers made that a mention of Bharat, because Bharat was not the only emperor, Bharat was a tribe, and they always wanted to seek the truth and knowledge. So we are from the past, we Indians are knowledge seekers. So we have to go on the same path. We cannot become Westerners tomorrow and later we become Arabians and lastly we become Europeans. It is not so. We have our own identity, we have a distinct cultural identity. We have to maintain, retain and proceed. Yeah.
Yes, we always underestimate India when it comes to anything like that. We prioritize Western culture more. So, what is something that you admire about today's generation, and what is something that you think that we could do differently?
Yeah, I always wonder why the youngsters are in a hurry. Most of them in a hurry, they are losing their life in accidents, they are being killed or they are killing themselves. And when you see the suicidal rate, it is going high and all these things. It is all disappointments, it is disregard to a society or the society not respecting individuals. Something like that, some equation is going on, that is the saddest part of it. And in that, the scientific, with that scientific temper, if you have to answer, it is not the suicide that is killing the youth, it is the sadness that is killing them.
Yes, exactly.
So, when this is the worst part of it, and what I am so happy about youngsters is, today's youth are realizing their real potential. They have their YouTubes on the social media, they are very active on social media, they learn too many things, they have great knowledge. I respect every youth for he knows more than what I understand by reading books. He is discussing this on the platform, gathering ideas and opinions, and is learning more. So this is what I admire, and I think there will be more revolutions by the youth, and only the youth can bring the real transformation in society and take an active role for the development of the nation. Yeah.
So we as youth know that we have certain rights, but we don't know how to use them in a respectful and responsible way. What are some legal rights that every youth should know today?
Every youth should hold a constitution. You have seen many political leaders hold a constitution book, but most of them have not read it.
Yes.
So the only thing is that I tell you, you too have to hold a constitution, but you should read it thoroughly. It is a book that contains the real creamy layer of a society and the standards that a human can live with dignity. So constitution book has a lot many things to offer. Most of us don't know. I don't say it is knowledge over constitution. It is very lesser importance the institution is giving, the education institutions. I always wanted a subject as a constitutional law. There should be a subject in every school and every college and universities. Constitution becoming the core subject. Now today it is not a core subject in schools.
Yes.
You have a chapter that is again it outlines the salient, a few salient features and a few important articles. It is not so. We want to know that we want to know our rights, our privileges, our real role and how we can be a part of the society and how well we can join hands with the government and refine a society or work for the building of infrastructure of the nation. So it all happens when you have to read from the basics. I consider, I always consider and always think many times in a day that the teachers, most teachers in institutions are less equipped with knowledge on constitution and such important aspects. And these things can ruin the society, can ruin the future of the students, future of the youth. That is, it is the reason why when a person or a group of people cannot beat the character of a person, they will destroy the reputation. I repeat, if a society or a group of people can't beat the character of a person, they will try to destroy his reputation.
Yes.
So this is the shortest thing they do. That is the reason why I tell you, for everything to build up that character of strength, we require knowledge. When you are in India, we should read Constitution of India. We should know more about our rights and privileges, our duties. In fundamental rights, right to property, as was prescribed under Article 31 has been removed. Most of them do not know. They think this property, I have every right. I have every right and it is my fundamental right. No one can take away this property. They should take away, because for the railway networks, for the development of this nation, if you have to cooperate and give land, give way for the national development. So for which in Article 44, in the 44th Constitutional Amendment, the government have again restructured it. After removing from Article 31, they again inserted it in Article 300A, making that fundamental right, the previously called fundamental right, as a legal right. Now right to property is no more a fundamental right. It has been removed and made a constitutional right or a legal right. See, such things we need to know. Otherwise, there will be a chaotic situation where people will go to courts, people will run hither and thither for justice. So one need to know everything from the scratch. They need to know about their nation and their rights, their knowledge of society.
Okay. So is there any particular part in the Constitution which we should read, because it is a very big book? So any important part which we get the maximum knowledge from?
First you should read the preamble, drafted by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, which talks about the objective resolution of the Constitution. It is a foreword for the Constitution. So that is the one you should know what Constitution of India book contains. That is the reason why you need to read the preamble first. And then you should read Article 1. Then you should go to Part 3, which is Fundamental Rights. Part 4, Directive Principles of State Policy for the Government. You should know these two first. Directive Principles of State Policy for the Government, Fundamental Rights for the citizens. These two things are the primary requirement of every youth to understand. These two things. Then comes many more things. Then you have the separation powers in Article 50. Then you have too many things to learn.
For someone who is not so much into law, the basic articles which they have to know in order so that they know their rights and don't get corrupted in any ways.
Yeah. For any person to know what exactly he needs to do, what he needs to read and how well he needs to be disciplined and what part of the Constitution he needs to read to be a national asset, first comes from home. First he has to build his character. The character is built at home, and for which parents are the responsible owners of that boy or the girl or this child. So once you build that quality of thought, your character of strength is developed. Once character of strength is developed, you will try to choose the field of profession. You will understand what you like and what you don't like. You will understand the difference between an opinion and a fact. So first the character of strength is important. Once you walk out of your home, you are a free individual. If you are not brought up in a manner in which you as an individual cannot understand things on the way or outside the premises of your building, then we have a very light character built up. First, the character strength is built at home. It is not the quality of education or the knowledge they give, it is the quality of conduct they teach. It is the quality of practice they build for a family. Here, then it comes to knowledge. Knowledge is education. Education is your school, your college, your friends, your interests, everything is an education. Every act is an education. Every act we need to perform it sensibly. That is how we showcase our educational skills. Education is not just knowledge, it is also a part of character. Character plus knowledge is education. We try to inculcate too many things when you find it interesting.
Yes.
You look at a girl when she has a new facelift, when beautiful hairs, you will think, yes, this is good, this I should adopt. So we can inculcate only the right things, good things, attractive things. So it is a choice of freedom or choice with knowledge. So knowledge is a primary source. Character is ultra primary source. These two things you mold, ordinarily you grow up and produce extraordinary results. You become a national asset again. Yeah.
To all the youth listening to your conversation today, what is that one advice you want to give them?
Yeah, it is all the mindset that matters. Lion, I give you an example to this. Lion is not the strongest animal. Lion is not the biggest animal in the jungle, nor it is the fastest animal in the jungle, but still it is the king of the jungle. You know why? It is the mindset. It is the mindset. It has built up such a mindset. When it walks in the jungle, a herd of elephants will take the other way. It walks with pride. That's the lion's pride. So, it is the mindset that matters. Every youth who is listening, who is going to listen this again and again, always will understand that it is the mindset first. What you need to know, what you want, first it is the mindset. The youth, as I told you, I am again reiterating, youth is the age of discovery and dreams. Everything he wants to discover, everything he wants to dream. And everything he discovers and dreams, he thinks it is final. It is here he requires a direction. So youth will surpass all these stages. Then he becomes a torch bearer. When he becomes a torch bearer of this nation, only after he earned enough knowledge as a student, enough knowledge as a youth, enough knowledge as an individual, every stage of his life will give him great amount of knowledge. That is his qualification. The first degree of qualification, second degree of qualification. That is how we grow with time, with energy. Yeah.
So, with this question, let's wrap the conversation for today. It was an amazing conversation. We got to know so many things about our constitution, about our preamble. We got to know how to live life further and how to follow our legal responsibilities and everything. Until then, I'm Asima Tamkeen, the curious student, signing off for today. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking questions. Thank you. Thank you, sir.